So let's go back to the corporate issue again and kind of talk about the ethical situation. So I'm a corporate boss, let's say, of one of these companies, or I'm the marketing chief or something like that. Aren't I going to say something that sounds plausible like, look, we're not forcing this food on anybody. These are individual consumers. They have a certain kind of responsibility to be ethical agents who care about their own health and their own communities and families, right? Parenting is the best response to bad food behaviors in children. Why isn't that a good response?
Well, it's a corporate response. And again, I don't think that people who work in food corporations are evil. They're not trying to make Americans fat. They're trying to sell products. That's all they're doing. And again, there is an enormous amount of evidence for food corporations selling products above all other considerations. What's missing from that equation is the food marketing environment, and that is the amount of money that they're putting into marketing foods, the way they're marketing foods, the amount of research that goes into marketing foods, and everything else that's getting people to buy foods, the most profitable foods, regardless of the effects of eating a lot of those foods on health. Now, I'm always talking about sodas. There's nothing wrong with an occasional soda. Nobody's worried about that. It's the 2 liters a day that really get to you, or the idea that people are drinking so much of sugary beverages that they're not eating the kinds of foods that would be healthier for them, and these foods are not compensated for by the body. And so those kinds of considerations don't go into corporate thinking. And, if you look at those statements at face value, yes, parents should have something to do with what their kids are eating, but this doesn't say anything about corporate marketing of foods to kids, which is deliberately designed to get kids to recognize the products, prefer the products, pester their parents for the products, and eat the products when they have them.
Do you envision, that makes me think about legal issues. Do you envision it being possible at some point for there to be a big food lawsuit in the way there was a big tobacco lawsuit in 1998? If there's deliberate efforts to entrap vulnerable people into habits that are known to be bad for them, mightn't there be almost a legal case against some of these corporations?
Well, I don't think there's any question that there are grounds for a legal case, and there are lots of lawyers who are looking into it. But we have a Supreme Court now that is very, very unlikely to back up those kinds of lawsuits on the grounds of the First Amendment. Now, the First Amendment was designed for free speech. I think of the First Amendment, what I learned in junior high and high school, was that the First Amendment was designed to protect freedom of religious and political speech. The Founding Fathers certainly had no idea that it would be used to defend marketing junk foods to kids. But that's how the courts have been interpreting it. And until there's a really solid legal argument about the First Amendment in this particular context, the idea that marketing to kids is dangerous for their health, and that the First Amendment was never meant to defend dangerous speech or speech that would be harmful, until we get some kind of support for that, I don't think those suits are going to get very far, although lots and lots of people are working on them. And the parallels between cigarettes and food are very clear, even though food is not cigarettes. And it's not one message, stop smoking. You can't stop eating. You have to keep eating. It's much more complicated than that. It's eat this instead of that, or eat less in general.